The Harbour Point Event Center is an exotic place for a get-together that matters in the society, particularly for those who reside in Victoria Island and Ikoyi Axis. Saturday, the 11th of January, witnessed the presence of high and mighty in the society, particularly the banking industry. The event tagged the exit of a banking legend. Who is this legend? Many has described as selfless, professional, philanthropic, religious with special knack for service for humanity.
I knew him as a kind-hearted man. I knew him as a relentless well-wisher. I knew him in office.
Alhaji is known for one thing to me: an easy-going, knowledgeable technocrat. He was a banker's banker, an icon, simplistic and accommodating.
Alhaji Otiti, very pleasant old man. Although I've known him for more than 40 years. Very religious and very compassionate, very honest and very frank, and he was always willing, especially to help us to solve any problem within his reach.
He was a very nice man, extremely nice, a very efficient deputy governor or official of the central bank, extremely efficient and very helpful to people who come across him. In Islam, he was a pillar of Islam in Lagos.
Alhaji Otiti is somebody we can call a true friend. Since we are together, we have not missed a day of talking good of all people.
He was a tower of strength and a pillar of wisdom. He was a very good man, full of integrity, righteousness. He was a perfect gentleman, very generous to a fault.
Baba deserves every good thing that has been said about him and more. He was a father to all. He was so nice to everyone that he came across. I can liken his character to the character of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, who during his lifetime practiced the do's and don'ts as they were contained in the Holy Quran to the letter.
On the 12th of November 1927, a little bundle of joy was born into the family of A.O.G. Otiti, a cocoa merchant at Arulegun compound in Saleafa, Ibadan, Oyo State. He attended Ibadan Boys High School. He worked briefly and continued to pursue his educational prowess before joining the banking sector. Alhaji A.O.G. Otiti, as he is popularly called by both young and old, started his banking career with British and French Bank, now UBA PLC, in 1949 and was attached to the London office. While in London, he attended several in-services courses before returning to the country in 1958, where he secured his first job in Inland Revenue Department, Ibadan.
My teacher at the elementary school, after they retired for years, that he went to teach again in Ibadan, and he taught Alhaji. And since then, the cooperation has been very good.
If it is the question of bringing people together, helping people in this country today, if you, the successful business people together, at least you will see almost more than 80% talking about what Alhaji Otiti has done for them.
As a pioneer staff of Nigerian Apex Bank, the Central Bank of Nigeria, he rose through the ranks to become the deputy governor in 1982 until his retirement in 1988.
He was a mentor to me. Apart from being a mentor, we shared a common passion. He plays tennis and I play tennis. He takes me to the lawn tennis club and established a competition in the Central Bank and made me the chairman. He donated 50,000 naira for the cup, and I chaired it until I became too old not to be playing tennis anymore.
As the deputy governor of CBN, the only deputy governor then, the position is now split to about 5 positions. His energy for assistance, his determination to do the right thing marveled me and continues to marvel me. I was a small boy, but I respected what he stood for.
On retirement, he retained the chairmanship of the Board of Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) for 6 years and remained relevant in the banking industry, as he was often referred to as the banker's banker. Baba added value to several commercial banks as he chaired the board of FSB International Bank, all in a bid to continuously share his wealth of knowledge and mentor the young ones.
I had the opportunity of working with Baba on 2 occasions. When he was the only deputy governor in the bank, and I became an executive director. I found him as a brother, a father, a mentor. It was somebody to whom you can take all your problems, and he will give you plenty of attention and give you an advice, which when you go away, you will discover that your problem has been solved.
Alhaji A.O.G. Otiti was a founding father, the man who spent all that he has to make institutions like CIBN that has made a lot of people in Nigeria. For us and for some people here, the opportunity to have a handshake with Alhaji A.O.G. Otiti, the man whose signature was on the post-independent currency of Nigeria, is a lot for us to remember. Despite the man signing the money, he never and never made acquisition of money his own pursuit.
Alhaji Otiti's Erudite Scholarship has also benefited several blue-chip companies with his philanthropic gesture worthy of praise.
He believed this life is about touching lives. It's not about you. Whatever God gives you is not for you. It's to be shared. So he believed in touching lives immensely. Once you mention your problem to him, it solves your problem.
Though from Ibadan, it was it with a cupid arrow with a true daughter of Lagos, Alhaji Modinos Modukpe Otiti, who bore him several children, all successful in their chosen field of endeavor.
He was a staunch member of Anzardin Society of Nigeria. The society was founded at the residence of Alawiye, and he married an Anawiye. God bless him.
A very determined and resilient elder statesman, he remained resolute and forthright despite his health challenge, living up to the vintage age of 92 with very retentive memory.
Every friend of the children were also his children, and he could remember all he has to do is hear your voice and say, okay, how are you? And he will ask you questions that you would not even expect, because you didn't know that he paid particular attention to you.
Even at old age, he was able to recognize my voice when I called him. He would say, Joseph, are you still playing tennis? I said, Baba, I'm getting too old. I don't play much anymore.
Alas, on Sunday, the 5th of January 2020, Baba answered Allah's call and in strict adherence to Islamic tenets, which he was an ardent believer of. He was laid to rest at Ikoyi Vaults and Garden same day. This began the several prayer sessions for the repose of his soul, which he needs from us, the living. Saturday, the 11th of January, the families, friends, and well-wishers came together at Abba Point for a special organized federal prayer led by the Ansaruddin Society of Nigeria, of which he was a prominent member amongst numerous other organizations.
Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadi wa sallim.
After the brief prayers and askar, condolence message was formally delivered to the family by Alhaji Kamaruddin Aremu Salami, who represented the president, while the tribute was delivered by Alhaji Dekurolai Aregbe.
Nigeria Consultative Foundation, Ikoyi Club, Island Club, Tennis Confederation, tí bàbá wà nínú wọn títí dìgbà tó fi jáde láyé, ọ̀nì àkó àṣẹyìndì ẹni rẹ̀ tó lọ. Central Bank of Nigeria, àbíká ní the banking community ní Nigeria nùfọ̀sí tí bàbá belong sí, institute of bankers, institute of secretaries, àti gbogbo tí bàbá kọ́ sí lọ́tún lósì pé eléyìí kí a gbà ń pé àsìkò bàbá tó àwọn náà jáde láyé.
The erudite scholarship of the National Chief Commissioner of Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria, Sheikh Abdulrahman Ahmad, was once again showcased with a deeply thought-provoking lecture tagged Preparing to Exit. It touched on salient issues for guests in attendance to reflect on in a bid to prepare well to meet Allah.
I want to briefly talk on 4 things. 4 things. Living is the number 1. The reality of the life of this world, as far as the creator of life is concerned. Number 2, I want to dovetail into preparing to exit. Because we came, it's inevitable that everyone that came must go. And as we do this, we must keep in view how we want to meet the one who sent us here. If there is time, we will look at that great day, the day of resurrection and accountability, which inevitably we must all face, whether or not we are ready, whether or not we have tidied up our books, whether we have or we have not balanced our books. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has told us the reality of the world in the Quran. He says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اعلموا أنما الحياة الدنيا لعب ولهو وزينة وتفاخر بينكم وتكاثر بالأموال والأولاد كمثل غيث أعجب الكفار نباته ثم يهيج فتراه مصفرا ثم يكون حطاما وفي الآخرة عذاب شديد ومغفرة من الله ورضوان وما الحياة الدنيا إلا متاع الغرور. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala told us, he said, "Ilamu, know for sure. Don't entertain any doubts about the fact that the life of this world is sports and amusement. Sports, play, and amusement. وَتَفَاخُرٌ بَيْنَكُمْ. And it means by which you show off. You tell others, I am richer. Do you know my net worth? I'm not in the platinum category. I'm not in the gold category. I am more. Do you know that I was listed in the and all the other listings? Do you know my net worth? Do you know the number? The number is just a number, it's not you. وَتَكَاثُرٌ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ. And that we brag about how much that we have acquired. There is no state in Nigeria, no state capital in Nigeria that I do not have property. I have strong financial presence everywhere. When I'm in Paris, I'm at home. In London, I'm at home. In Washington, I'm at home. Dubai, oh, that's just home. South Africa, I'm home. Everywhere is home. There is a house, a mansion, there are cars, there are drivers, there are cooks, there are stewards, there are people attending to me. Do you know who I am? Do you know who is talking to you? Do you know me? You are bragging, you are talking like this. Do you know me? Sorry. And also, this is Allah talking to you. The life of this world is about also bragging about children. I'm blessed with children. I have them in the US, I have them in the UK, I have them in Germany, they are in Europe, they are in all continents of the world. They are doing excellently well. Those are my children. When your manko, ó ní èwo ń bẹ wo ẹjọ́ o sí àwọn ti America ni o àbáwọn ti London àbáwọn ti Germany àbáwọn ti Saudi èwo lẹ ń béèrè èwo ni ìsọmọ ń bẹ tí mo ṣe ìsọmọ ni. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now sums it up. He said all of these things that have been enumerated كمثل غيث أعجب الكفار نباته. He said it's like a farm, well cultivated and that has, turned out well, luxuriant, lush, green, and appealing to the eye. But it is only for a time. It will green, and then it will wither, and then it will dry, and then it will be blown away. Then Allah says, you must know, وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ عَذَابٌ شَدِيدٌ وَمَغْفِرَةٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرِضْوَانٌ. In the afterlife, after accountability, there are only two possible results. Those who will be happy and those who will be downcast and sad. So essentially, life is a transaction. It's essentially transactional. And because our father was an ace banker, a banker of bankers, he dealt with money almost throughout his life. He was not a money bag. He did not hoard money. He knew how to spend money, and he spent it well to put smiles on the faces of people, to give people hope, to make a difference in their lives. Today, so many people will say, Baba, Amen. But for him. So therefore, life is about preparing our balance sheets. Sorry, I mean balance sheets. And we're told that there are only two entries, assets and liabilities. So it is about balancing whether it is going to be heavier on the asset side or heavier on the liabilities side. Allahu Akbar. Unfortunately, so many of us are living on rent. So how can we balance our accounts? We have forgotten the one who sent us here. We have forgotten that he sent us here for a purpose. We have forgotten that he will call us to account, that we're going to render returns. We're going to stand before him and give account of every second, every pleasure, every achievement, every pain, every disappointment, everything, the totality of our experience. That is why he said, ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. And on that day, he will question you, he will call you to account for every favor, for every pleasure, for every moment of ecstasy and achievement. You are going to account for every enjoyment, and you are going to account for every accolade that you claim. Those that belong to you and those that do not belong to you. Allahu Akbar. We live as if we are going to be here forever. الذي جمع مالا وعددا يحسب أن ماله أخلدا. You acquire wealth as if you are going to live forever. You are busy calculating your money. Every time the sound you want to hear from your smartphone is bagam, bagam, bagam. In fact, you have customized the one that is from, the alert from FCMB is bagam. Allahu Akbar. The one from GT Bank is bagam, bagam. Allahu Akbar. That is the only thing you want to hear. And each time it does bagam, you smile to yourself. And they say, I hope there's nothing. You can't understand. You can't understand. But whether or not you like it, you will die. Nobody is mukhallad. Look, it is becoming increasingly difficult for you to spend 100 years. Those of our fathers that are on the verge of 100 are legends. They are few and far between. So if we gather them here today, then we are lucky. We're blessed. It is a grace to us and to them. It's not likely that we're going to be able to see that all the time. But inevitably, one day you will die. At least prepare for death. Islam insists that a Muslim must not sleep 3 nights without writing a wasiyah. Please note, I said wasiyah, translated roughly, loosely as a will. This concerns only 1/3 of your property, and you must not make it in respect of those who can inherit you. Part of the things that you put in your wasiyah is when you die, how do you want to be buried? We don't even want to think about it. We don't want to talk about it. But we will die, and we don't know when. We don't know where. We don't know how. No one knows. So how do you want to be buried? It's a very, very hot topic. Very bitter one. You don't discuss it with anyone. Death, do you want me to die? I'm not ready to go. Look into my eyes. Do you see death? It's not there at all. Death, but you will die. We have an issue on our hands. So many of us feel unsafe. What is going to happen to our bodies after we're gone? Yes, we're concerned, and it is normal. It is legitimate. So we want to be buried where it is safe. We don't want to be buried in a place where after a week, our head, our hand, will be gone. But in the process of that, what have we prepared? As a Muslim, every part of our lives is governed by the Quran. So how exactly and where exactly do you hope? No one knows where you are going to be buried. But in case you have the opportunity, where do you want to sleep? You want to sleep anywhere where they will put your head and your leg in a place where it should not be? No. 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 What do you want to happen after you? So many of us will die, and afterwards, for years on end, our death and our estate will be the subject of litigation. Allahu Akbar. Bá ń ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yìí, ẹjọ́ mi wà ń kóòtù nínú àwọn ará wa tí wọ́n ti lọ nítorí pé wọn ò yanjú ẹ̀, wọn ò sì tó kalẹ̀ kan tó kú, wọ́n dájà alẹ̀ ni. Allahu Akbar. Àwọn ọmọ wọn padà máa sọ pé mo wó òfò tó tiẹ̀ dá tó gbé tí ọba tiẹ̀ lówó gan kò ní dá wàhálà alẹ̀, ó fowó dá wàhálà alẹ̀ ni. What have you achieved? How do we prepare to meet Allah? We prepare to meet Allah by first recognizing the purpose for which we have been created. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُمْ مِنْ رِزْقٍ وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَنْ يُطْعِمُونَ. I have not created men and jinn except that they should come and worship me. Part of the worship of Allah is also service to humanity. Don't think worship is restricted to your praying 5 times daily and giving zakah and so on. How useful are you? Khairun nas man yanfa'un nas. The best of mankind is the one that is of the most benefit to others. Are you one of those when you die, your children will go into your room, open your wardrobe and open your safe and say, "Shit, Dad, shit, man." You know, your children are saying you are shit. Because you have so much money, and here you are now. You are helpless. They will spend the money in such a way that even money will be afraid. Allahu Akbar. And you will turn in your grave. La ilaha illallah. They will drive your car in such a way that they could even charge them for dangerous driving. Allah. The one that you drive once in a week. So what have you gained? Nothing. 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 Some people are so greedy that when they get cooler from these events, They will eat the food and go and keep the cooler somewhere. So when they die and people start to, they will see cooler, they will see milk, they will see juice that has expired for more than 5 years. Your wristwatches, what is it worth? They will not bury it with you. Your shoes and all. So, first recognize the purpose. Allah has given you wealth as a trial. You will be called to account for it. So spend it. Let Allah be happy. Make others happy. Make a difference in the life of others. So that when you die and you are in the grave, Allah will widen your grave. Allah will illuminate your grave. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send angels to keep you company. It is not even reasonable to go there every week. They ask you why. They say, Moloki Babani. They will say, Allahu Akbar. So we have left him alone with his deed. What is going to be your own deed? Cheating, oppression, reckless life, and ultimate. One day we're going to be resurrected. And we're going to face Allah. And Allah will ask us. That day is special. Because so many of us, if we are allowed to talk, will even win the angels. We will out-argue the angels. But Allah will not even allow us to speak. Al-yawma nakhtim ala afwaihim wa tukallimuna aydihim wa tashhadu arjuluhum bima kanu yaksibun. It is part of our body that will be talking. And they will say, Awailana. So, your hand, all the monies that you counted and hidden, will be saying, yes, you used me to count money. Your eyes, your ears. I don't want to talk about the down below. Allah. That is one huge account. And, you know, pride will be this high. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Allah. We used to have computographic machine. You just type and afterwards you press print. And it's so that's how that thing, the one down below, will be bringing, you know, sheets, and it will be this high. And you say, why? Lima shahidtun alayna. Waqalu li juludihim. They will tell their parts of their body, Lima shahidtun alayna. Why are you bearing witness against us? And they will reply us, Antaqana Allahu alladhi antaqa kulla shay. It is Allah that has given us the power of speech today, the one who gives the power of speech to everything. Allahu Akbar. So that day, Ashabul Yamin, the companions of the rites, may Allah make you and I part of those. Amen. They will be happy. Amen. We will be happy. Amen. You want to be happy? Yes. Please live right. Balance your accounts before you go. You may not be happy unless you balance your account. Bankers don't go home without balancing their books. You must not die until you balance your books. Be prepared is the motto. It can come today, it can come tonight, it can come tomorrow, it can come anytime. You could be sick and you live long. You could be healthy and you will die suddenly. Be prepared. And that day, some people will be on the left and they will regret. They will wish, oh Allah, if you could give us just one moment to go back, la as-saddaqa wa akun min as-salihin wa lan yuakhir Allahu nafsan idha jaa ajaluha. You say, Allah, please give us one moment. We'll go back. Yes, you gave me money, you gave me influence, you gave me power, you gave me everything, but please, I know I'm guilty. Give me one moment. I will right the wrong, but it will be too late. May it not be too late for us. Amen. Brothers and sisters, our dear fathers and elders, this is the reality of the world. We came one by one, we will leave one by one. Who is next? No one knows. It is not by age, it is not by class, it is not by wealth, it is not by faith, it is just by the decree of Allah. Whenever it comes, may Allah make it the best of our days.
Amen.
May Allah make our meeting with Him the best of meetings.
Amen.
May Allah forgive us our shortcomings.
Amen.
May Allah make the attainment of excellent things very easy for us.
Amen.
May Allah forgive our Father, who is the reason why we are here gathered. Allahumma gfir lahu warhamhu.
Amen.
وعافه وعف عنه
آمين.
وأكرم نزله ووسع مدخله
آمين.
واغسله بالماء والثلج والبرد
آمين.
ونقه من الذنوب والخطايا
آمين.
كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس.
آمين.
اللهم باعد بينه وبين خطاياه
آمين.
كما بعدت بين المشرق والمغرب.
آمين.
اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا
آمين.
وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وادخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين. In closing, well, they have advised the children, you really have inherited a very big shoe. May Allah help you.
Amen.
If your father were to look back, let him be happy with what he will see in terms of the relationship between you. Do not fight. Do not quarrel. Do not hate one another. Keep the bond of kinship and do not let it break. Because the one who breaks kinship will never enter paradise. For those of us who are here, if you are owing Baba, you have taken a loan. You say, the old man, even if I give him in his life, he will not take it. He will not take it. Now that he has died, well, may Allah make it a sadaqah for him. It's not sadaqah, it's basic for you. So you better go and pay. And if you don't pay, you will be sorry. If anybody is owing Baba, please pay. If Baba is owing anybody, which I doubt, please meet the family and reconcile. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Kabirullah.
With a recitation of Surah to Yasin, it rounded off the prayer session and paved way for the reception. A special documentary of the life and times of Alhaji Otiti was played back to the delight of guests as more people were on hand to give more tribute while guests were entertained.
As the second child of Chief A.O.G Gbadamosi Otiti and Madam Awawu Tinola Abegbe, your father, a strong believer and leading light of the Muslim community in Ibadan, helped to establish Islamic education centers as well as the Islamic primary school in your neighborhood of Odoaye, Ibadan. With a background like yours, it is not surprising that you have developed the solid foundation that has molded you into what you are today.
Alhaji Otiti walked the path of a true Muslim, never wavering in his devotion to the tenets of Islam. He was hardworking, loving, gentle, humble, and loyal. He was deeply devoted to his late wife and his children. His love extended to his friends. His faithfulness to the important people in his life could be seen in the way he steadfastly maintained ties with his childhood friends and colleagues. I know this firsthand because I'm Alhaji's adopted daughter, a product of such friendship. Alhaji loved my father, Dr. Al-Hassan Muhammad, like a brother. Their brotherhood started when they met in Washington, D.C. in 1966. Alhaji was a teacher of all things. His method was simple. He taught by example. Alhaji loved a good joke. He had this very dry sense of humor. Alhaji had a quiet dignity. He respecting himself the way he respected others. Summing up Alhaji's life, I keep coming back to one thought. Never will you meet a man whom more faithfully lived his values. May Allah forgive Alhaji Otiti his sins and grant him Jannah Firdaus.
Baba was one of the founding fathers of this association. He was a man who welcomed us into his house to hold our meetings for 17 years. And he attended and contributed immensely to the development of the association. It was always full of advice and guidance, which helped to put the association where it is today. Sometimes, when it is not comfortable to stay outside due to the weather, Baba will take us into his living room, making sure that the meeting holds. He teaches each and every one of us with some respect. When you talk to Baba, you feel that you are uplifted. But exactly the same thing happens to the next person.
Alhaji Otiti is very humble. So humble that he was approachable by any one of us, both high and low. Alhaji Otiti is a man who had a lot of influence and used the influence to help many of us. Alhaji Otiti was a man of integrity. Indeed, he supervised one of the most sensitive departments in the central bank without any blemish.
Alhaji Otiti and I started our primary school together in 1935. So he had been a friend of mine since 1936 until today. I thank God for his life, and I appreciate and thank everybody here present for all the very nice things that you have all said about him. I endorse all the sentiments you have all expressed. May God grant him eternal repose.
Baba meant several things to many people. How is he going to be missed?
For very many years now, all meetings of Bira have been held every month at his residence. We held one not too long ago. Inshallah, we'll still hold one at the end of this month, the last Monday of the month. He will not be there with us. May Allah admit him to Al-Jannah.
Kolon kuba fisafe ferere, kolon kuba gbaleru, kolon kuba pachishere, waju to ko isolan joda en to sile oni baje. May Allah forgive him his errors and grant him with the good people in Al-Jannah Firdaus.
Baba lived life for himself, the family, and the nation. He served Nigeria, and may he rest in perfect peace. We pray that Allah will grant him all favors to live beyond with him.
We miss him very dearly, but he lives on in the things I've left behind, his teaching, his advice, and everything. So we are really, we're very happy for his life.
May Allah forgive him. May Allah grant him a Jannah Firdaus. And may He grant the children the fortitude to bear this loss.
May Allah grant him peace. May Allah widen his grave. May Allah make it easy for him to answer all the questions that the angels will put to him. And may he be admitted into the highest of Al-Jannah, inshallah.
My dad, Alhaji Amusa Oladibeji Gbaramosi Otiti, is my mentor. As such, I've gone through so much tutelage. We've tried to imbibe its legacy, simplicity, honesty, dependability. The Lord God said, I'm the most dependable. And if you make yourself dependable and you surround yourself with dependable people, you have less problems. The journey of this life is a journey of service. You have to touch as many lives positively as possible. Baba has manifested this all through his life. When you bring your problems to him, he solves your problem. He doesn't show his problems. I would like to thank you all. The Chartered Institute of Bankers, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Chartered Institute of Directors, and Sarudin Society of Nigeria, Nawarudin Society of Nigeria, the Workers' Mosque in Araroni, all the other Muslim groups, Muslim Association of Nigeria, endlessly. I didn't know where Baba got his strength for, to be able to participate in all the activities of all these organizations. We thank you all.
On behalf of the board, management and staff of AIMS Media Company Limited, we pray Allah forgive the shortcomings of Alhaji Amusa Oladimeji Gbadamosi Otiti and grant him Al-Jannah Firdaus. Amen.